posted stuff on my blog, and I sure do appreciate your patience as I've gotten settled in my new home, which I happen to be in my new little kitchen, which I absolutely love. And today I'm going to be doing a little video on making some Christmas treats for your friends and neighbors. And I thought this would be a perfect thing to kind of show you, because I haven't done it before, so this is going to be live, but I think after reading the recipe, you'll see that it's pretty easy. I hope it goes well, so let's see. My inspiration was, I had gone recently to Target, and I had gotten a little container from Archer Farms of honey cinnamon almonds. And as you can see, the container's empty. My husband and I just like wolfed these down. They were so good. But I thought to myself, I bet you there's a homemade recipe somewhere on the internet, and sure enough, I did a search, and allrecipes.com had several. I chose one, and if you've ever gone to that site, you'll know that on the bottom they usually have reviews of people that have tried the recipes or adjusted the recipes, and so I did that as well. And so what I'm going to show you today is the recipe with a slight adjustment as far as not so much ingredients, but in technique. So the first thing you need are just a few ingredients. I've gone to Costco and bought the big old bag of almonds, and they're unroasted, so they're just plain unsalted. You'll need a little bit of cinnamon, which I have a lot of it, a little bit of sugar. Now the recipe calls for the sugar in the raw, which would be great, but I didn't have that in my pantry. I thought, I'm sure brown sugar will work great. You'll need some parchment paper, a Ziploc bag, and for your container, forgive me, because you need some sort of container that'll be pretty, that you can present to whoever it is that you're gifting this to, are just the Ziploc, what are they called? The small round containers. And what I love about these are their twist on. Okay, so they just look a little bit nicer, and they happen to be red for the holidays. And after we're done making these, packaging them up, I'll be showing you a video on a quick little way to decorate them up so that you make a really nice presentation. Anyway, so that's what you need. So I'm going to put some of this stuff aside. I've used 4 cups, measured out 4 cups of almonds, and placed them on a cookie sheet, and I roasted them. Now roasting brings out the flavor, and so we're going to pop those. They've been roasting for a little bit, for about 10-12 minutes on 325, and I'm going to be taking them out. And you can just smell that roasting the almonds just brings out the flavor. So you definitely don't want to skip this step. We'll let these kind of cool up. They're not too hot to the touch either. So very good. And they'll continue to roast a little bit. So I wouldn't do more than, like 12 minutes, 13 minutes. Because while they're on the pan, they're going to continue to roast. And as you can see, 4 cups fills up the cookie sheet perfectly. So I would recommend that amount. If you're going to make it, might as well make lots of it. So we'll put that off to the side. The next thing you'll need to do is take honey. And I've poured out about 1/2 cup into a non-stick medium saucepan. And heat this up. You know what? In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and take the Ziploc bag and pour in 1 cup of the brown sugar, because we're kind of going to do like a shake and bake technique here. So about 1 cup of brown sugar and a little bit of cinnamon. Oh, the cinnamon is not even open. Let me grab one in my pantry that is. And I would say probably about a tablespoon. So that looks like about a tablespoon. I love cinnamon. Let's check on my honey to make sure it's not burning. Oh, it's just starting to get soft and movable. Have you guys noticed that my hair is long? That's how long it's been since I've made a video. Is my hair has grown. I might have to change the avatar on my blog. Alright, it's doing pretty good, but needs a couple more minutes. So I'm going to take this, zip it closed, and shake it around. So Someone even suggested putting a little sea salt in there, and I might do that, or sprinkling sea salt after it's all done. Just because you know that adding just a tiny bit of salt usually brings out sweetness. That it is nice and liquidy. Can you see that? Okay, so you want it to be at that point and continue the process. So I'm just going to start to grab my almonds and toss them in. Toss them in and stir them up. So that way they get nice and coated. And it's amazing, it's only a half a cup of honey, but since you're only wanting a light coating on there, it's perfect. Let's lift this up just, because it's too hot to the touch. Yeah, so let's go ahead, because you really want to get it in there while everything's still warm before things start to wow. Okay. And see, the slotted spoon just works great to manipulate everything. Oh, that looks so, so good. Even just like that. Alright, so everything is nicely coated. We're going to take some parchment paper. I love parchment paper. I think it's like magic paper. If you're on a diet and you're trying to lose weight, this can act like oil. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my little bag, or big bag, and I would recommend using a big bag. I'm folding it over just so it's just easier to kind of make a big mouth there. And I'm going to start dumping in my coated, I don't want to burn myself, nor do you want to melt your plastic, so keep an eye on things. Close this up and shake and bake it. Time to dump everything on your parchment paper. But there we go. Okay, so some of our almonds are being held hostage here. And, oh, you have to taste it. Oh my gosh. Mmm. Oh, they're so good. So, now just spread out everything on your parchment paper. I could see where the sea salt would add